morning coffee. Hey, what's up guys, it's Matt. So it's that time of the year where if you're a film buff like myself, it's award season, so there's lots of great movies out and they're all getting awards. Of course, the main one that everyone's always looking out for are the Academy Awards, the Oscars, and the nominations were announced just yesterday. I was planning on making a video kind of going over a lot of the, mainly just kind of the best picture category for the Oscar nominated movies. However, I'm going to hold off from doing that as there's still one or two movies on the list that I'm yet to see. So I figured I'd see them and then I'd do kind of my thoughts on all of those movies a bit closer to the time. That being said, there was one surprise movie in there which I feel that I kind of just need to address now. Can you guess what it is? Yeah? Any ideas? Any ideas? Yeah, that's right. Black Panther. Black Panther somehow has a Oscar nomination for Best Picture. Somehow. So for those of you that don't know, getting an Oscar nomination isn't actually all that straightforward. Turns out it's kind of a bit of a political process. And this year it would seem that Marvel has played the game and has obviously managed to secure Black Panther a nomination for Best Picture. So, despite what you might think, as I say, the nominations, they're not random. It's not members of the Academy going, oh, these are the 10 movies I enjoyed this year, I'll put them forward, ho ho ho. It doesn't work like that. I mean, there is a voting system, but in terms of what movies they can vote on, it doesn't work like that. So, essentially, the movies all have, like, a campaign trail. Almost kind of like how political candidates have a campaign trail. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, you know, like special screeners for industry people where like the actual actors and actresses will be there, producers, directors and stuff will be there talking about how the movie was made and so on. There's whole political campaigns on them. I mean, I could go off and make a video about that myself, although Philip DeFranco has already done an amazing job of doing a video kind of explaining how it works, and he spoke to some actual industry professionals as well. So I'll link that down below so you can sort of check that out on the whole kind of political process in how a film goes about getting a nomination. The main thing really that you need to know is that despite all of that, a film has to have a kind of underlying message or meaning or something that's kind of in line with where the Academy's at, like that year, that decade or anything like that. So for Black Panther, that message seems to be kind of a focus on black culture, but looking forward to the future and, you know, kind of the positive road and everything that kind of lies ahead. You know, the future's bright. Obviously, that is in stark contrast to most cinema that we get on black culture, which, you know, take Black Klansman, which has also been nominated for Best Picture, and 12 Years a Slave as well, you know. For example, those films kind of focus on black culture's history. So Black Panther is a nice change of pace. It's kind of looking forward. It's a celebration. It's the first successful mainstream, you know, black superhero. Hell, I mean, even his little sister's a complete genius badass as well. You know, it is a celebration and everything. And, you know, it is great. That, you know, that is wonderful. The main thing is, though, is at the end of the day, it is a superhero movie. And it is now forever going to be historically known as the first superhero movie to ever get a nomination for Best Picture at the Oscars. And it doesn't deserve it. No, hold on, before you start going mental at me, hear me out. It absolutely dominated at the box office. It had a really long run in the cinemas as well. Like, it stayed out for a while. I think it was a genuinely very surprising success. But it's not great though, is it? Like, when you actually think about it, it's not that great of a movie. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that, like, oh wow, there's a superhero movie in the Best Picture category of the Oscars, and more than likely, it's probably not going to win. Great that there's one up there, but it's not the right one. There are so many other superhero movies which are more deserving of it. Firstly, the big one, The Dark Knight. This movie completely changed the sort of landscape of what superhero movies could be. Sam Raimi's SpiderMan film kind of kicked things off and got everything started, and then the Batman Begins was like, yeah, it was okay. The Dark Knight, though, completely sort of turned it around, like, you know, this is what you can actually do with these characters. You know, you can take these characters seriously. And it was snubbed by the Oscars. It existed in a time when the Best Picture category had a lot less films, so it kind of did only just miss out. Heath Ledger obviously posthumously got an Oscar for his performance as the Joker, but the film itself didn't even get a nomination for Best Picture, and The Dark Knight is a hell of a lot better movie than Black Panther is. Again, looking more recently, Logan. Fox somehow managed to mess up the X-Men franchise from the very beginning, yet there's a couple of shining lights in there, being Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and then Logan. Again, Logan completely subverted all expectations on what a comic book movie could be. Hugh Jackman delivered an absolutely phenomenal performance in that movie. And again, the movie was snubbed by the Oscars. You know what? Even if we sort of play it a bit closer to home and just count Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, Black Panther's not even the best movie within that. You know, came out the same year, Thor Ragnarok. Far better movie than Black Panther is. You've then got the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. You know, at least Black Panther had been introduced in Captain America Civil War. Guardians of the Galaxy, no one had a clue who they were. Marvel managed to take these absolute nobodies and turn them into, you know, now a household name. Everyone knows who the Guardians of the Galaxy are. That movie was great. That movie was far better than Black Panther. It didn't get a nomination. And then as well, as far as I'm concerned, Marvel's best movie to date, Captain America the Winter Soldier. Again, no nomination there. If anything, if any superhero movie should be up there this year, it should be SpiderMan Into the Spider-Verse. It's up for best animated feature. Why stop there? Like, if anything, that is probably the best superhero movie of this year. That should be up for best picture over Black Panther. Man, I don't know. I'm just... Woohoo! Great that superhero movies are now being taken seriously by the Oscars. Shouldn't be Black Panther though. Shouldn't be Black Panther. So yeah, rather than just me ranting on, let me know what do you think down in the comments below. Do you think Black Panther is deserving of the best picture? That's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed my little rant, do give it a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel. And until next time, take care.